Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille Show. My name is Jerry Miller. It's great to be with you on a Tuesday. We are live in Charlottesville, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille network. Today's program, another fantastic one. We're going to spotlight a fabulous restaurant in Midtown, Mangione's on Main. They are doing excellent things in the Italian space. We're going to talk with the owner of the restaurant, Elaina Mangione, and the executive chef, Mick Markley. We're going to welcome them to the program in T-minus 45 seconds. We're going to have fun. If you'd like to participate in the show, put your comments in perspective in the comment section of any of the 12 Facebook pages, and I will relay those comments to Mick and Elaina. Before we welcome them to the show, let's thank some of our clients for being a part of the program and our roster. We are an advertising agency at VMV Brands and I Love CVille. 113 clients on the roster as of this morning. Two of our favorites, Interstate Pest and Service Companies and Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. We represent all aspects of their brand as they interface with the marketplace. First, Interstate. The business started in 1969, truly a success story. In 1969, the first generation, Mr. Robert Wells, who has since passed away, used sweat equity, vision, his personal truck, and payphones around Charlottesville to build a company. Today, Interstate has 4 generations of family working within the business, almost 100 employees, and a working footprint of the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. I love local success stories like this. Just like the good doctor, Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. He is changing people's lives through physical therapy, chiropractic care, and sports medicine. I will tell you what, Judah Wickhauer, go to the studio cam. Mick Markley is a popular dude. I'm watching what is happening on social media right here, and you got some friends in this effing town, Mick. I'm excited to highlight that. Before we do, we'll go ladies first. We'll welcome Elaina to the show. First question we do for everybody is we humanize, localize, and personalize our guests. Elaina, the show is yours. Passions, hobbies, and interests. What makes you tick?
I like to eat.
Yeah, me too.
My background is not in restauranting, though I did spend some time for a restaurant management group in Georgetown.
Cool.
When I was in my early 20s. I am currently a recovering CPA.
Get out of town, son of a CPA.
Oh, wow, so close.
Yeah. I have tremendous respect for CPAs.
Yeah, me too. I hire one every year.
It is a tough, brutal business and profession.
Yeah,
and a necessary one.
Yeah, so my career has just gone like a pachinko machine, and here I am in Charlottesville and owning a restaurant.
Killing it.
But it's been a really interesting opportunity. The restaurant makes me tick for sure. I love to go in and talk with customers. I'm not there too often because I do still work full time. My husband and I both still work full time with other non-restaurant things. But when I go, I'm bussing tables, I'm talking to customers, I'm at the dishwasher, I'm behind the bar, I'm running food. So whatever it takes,
Before we welcome Mick to the show, I gotta ask this question. How does a CPA evolve to owning a restaurant?
Actually, it's something very near and dear to my heart. Okay. My husband and I have been part of an organization, charity bike ride, for about 15 years. Okay. And we were recruited to be kitchen help. And then we became in charge of the kitchen, and then we became in charge of all of the food, feeding a group of a very grassroots organization for an AIDS vaccine bike ride called Charity Treks. And with that, my husband loves to cook. And when we relocated to Charlottesville, we started working with a couple of friends of ours, and that didn't actually work out, which was fine. It wasn't not amicable. It just wasn't. We had different visions, and the opportunity to purchase Bella's came up, and we thought, if we're going to purchase a restaurant, we're going to purchase one where on Monday morning they hand us the keys. We just keep going.
That's amazing.
I mean, we literally did not close. Like, Doug owned the restaurant on Sunday night, and Monday morning we owned the restaurant. So, and we opened for dinner service that night.
I love it. I love it. We're going to highlight that. First, we're going to welcome, I think, a gentleman that needs no introduction. Mick, let me, this page is blowing up here. Sharon McClung, hey, Mick. Molly Anderson, hey, babe. Alex Weaver, yay, Mick. Gerald David Perry, proud of you, old friend. Awena Hutter, love you, buddy. Gerald David Perry, I'm glad she pointed out that she is still working full-time and running a restaurant. She's a badass, talking about you.
And she is.
She is a badass. Laura Fonner, hello, hello, hello. I did say,
hey,
Mick, that you said hello, Gerald. The comments are continuing to come in. Before we get to the folks, let's highlight you. Passions, hobbies, and interests. What makes Mick tick?
Food, obviously. Love food. Food and drink, hospitality, animals.
Nice.
Fast cars.
We have a lot in common.
Yeah. Kind of, to be honest with you, as far as cooking and being a chef and that end of it, I kind of fell into it backwards. Was bartending, doing the front of the house thing.
Where at? Give us the flip book of restaurants.
1997. Awful Arthur's.
Oh, yeah.
On
now
West
Tavern
Main.
and Grocery.
Now it's been through about,
West Main.
11 evolutions?
Yeah.
It's been through it. That was my first introduction into Charlottesville. A fellow by the name of Jimmy Gilbert brought me on.
Was Brian Painter?
Right up. Brian Painter was the general
bartender?
Brian
GM?
Painter was the assistant GM then.
He's a hell of a foosball player.
Yes, he is. One of the better ones I've ever seen, personally. Yeah, the guy's good. Started up there, spent years in Charlottesville, just kind of flailing around, bartending, having fun, just, kind of feeling out your 20s and 30s. Some people figure it out early. Some of us figure it out late. Ended up in New York for a couple years, French Culinary Institute, now the International Culinary Center in Manhattan. Down to Charleston, South Carolina, a couple years, Baltimore, D.C., back to Charlottesville. And been back on and off for a few years now. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And you're getting a lot of props from people that are asking, give us some of the restaurants you've worked in town. I love this kind of stuff.
Was there anybody before Mangione's?
Was that a tongue-in-cheek joke right there?
I think so. Actually, I'm her husband's surrogate today. I'll have you guys know I was not the first choice, but
I'm glad you brought Mick. This dude's got the gift of gab over here.
For some reason, Bert couldn't be here today. Bert, I'm looking at you if you're watching.
Conveniently.
Yeah.
No pressure, Bert. 6 cameras, a bunch of people, and some microphones. Mick is filling the void very well. Give us a snapshot here.
As far as chef-wise?
Yeah.
Firefly in D.C., crazy place right at DuPont Circle, was there for a good long while.
People say don't forget Orbit.
How could I possibly ever forget Orbit? Ever. What a wild time to forget.
That was when Andrew Vaughn was running.
That was Andrew Vaughn, and Andrew, if you're listening,
he does.
This
listen.
one's for you, buddy. We had a great time at Orbit. Those students, we kept getting older, and they stayed the same age.
Matthew McConaughey's best life.
It was some good times. Orbit. I end up. Long story short. Well, long story medium. Ended up in Richmond. Same thing, bartending over there, and a good buddy of mine by the name of Dan Williamson was one of my bar regulars at Curbside Cafe on Robinson Street. I was in a lot, and he's like, "Man, why don't you come and cook with me a couple nights a week when you're at bartending?" I was like, "Man, I don't know. I like sleeping. I bartend. Getting after it a lot."
Me too.
But I tried it, and I liked it. And apparently, he told me I was kind of good at it. And after hanging out with Dan for about a year, he's like, "Man, you just need to pack it up and go to culinary school." And I was like, "You know what? You're right." And I did. After he brought that up, 2 or 3 weeks later, I was moving to New York to go to culinary school up there, and it was great. You don't learn how to do everything in culinary school, but what it does, it exposes you to how things can be done, how things should be done. Just seeing some of these guys, like Jacques Pepin, Jacques Torres, that whole gang. It blew me away, and like I said, it shows you how things can be done, how far you can take it, and will I ever be on a level of those guys? No, I will not. But what I do, I just enjoy being there, making good food every day, seeing the smiles on people's faces, seeing my coworkers sweat and work hard and just getting it done. It's fun. And, at the end of the day, you get your compliments, you get your Yelp reviews, et cetera, but, it just feels good to go home knowing that you made 20 to 100 and 320 people happy.
That's a lot of covers.
Well,
if it's 300,
it varies.
That's a hell of a lot of covers right there.
Take a rainy Tuesday night. You never know. But
that's UVA graduation day.
That's what was the one we just did? The basketball game the other night.
Oh right.
You crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, let's throw this to Elaina. And Frank Rivera says, I love you. Ophelia Alonso says, Mick. Elaina, you're getting some props right now from Shelby
Finally.
Dennis, from Alicia Jones. Giving you some props right now. You're getting props from Sale Rapazzado, Sarah Long, Richard Abruschi. And if I'm messing up people's names, I apologize.
You're doing great.
Nikki McCarthy, Alicia Jones, Ashley Patel from AHIP. Okay, I'm going to get out of your way. Mangione's. Mm-hmm. Give us the snapshot of Mangione's.
Well, when we bought it, we didn't change the name from Bella's. We wanted to, as an accountant, actually I was a consultant, and I would go into a business and I'd see how things were running. And I wouldn't change it because you have to see what works and what doesn't work before you start changing things.
Sure.
And there was a lot of things that were working there that we embraced. So after 3 months, we did have sort of a requirement to reposition things in the restaurant. We had some regulatory things that we had to address. And as we're doing this, we were talking to Peter from Maya and
Peter Castiglione.
Yeah.
Good friend of this show.
Yeah, love Peter. He's been great.
Charlottesville's lucky to have Peter. The Restaurant Association, lucky to have Peter.
100%.
Yeah. The world's lucky to have Peter. But one of the things he kept saying to us was, you got to change the name. Just, rebrand, because we were closed. What was meant to be a 10-day close turned out to be a 17-day close. And so we're 1-year anniversary is this Friday, January 17th, as Mangione's on Main. We bought the restaurant in October of 2018, but we celebrate 1 year this week.
Congratulations.
This Friday.
If you can do a year, you can do 100?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we've got a pretty good recipe right now for, back of the house, in front of the house. Snaps to Maggie, who's come and join us as our front of the house manager. We've got really great people, full-time staff. So, I lost my train of thought. See, yeah.
Mangione's, the success or the recipe or the equation for success.
Trying to take what existed under Bella's and make it our own. And when we were lucky, we reopened, relaunched on January 17th as Mangione's on Main. And
so that's a rebranding.
It was a rebrand.
Yeah.
And we had Mick in the wings, and we were bringing him on. I mean, my husband met him, and he's like, that's the guy. We were super lucky to, and I was like, well, we got to meet some other people. He's like, no, that's the guy. So we brought Mick on February 1st, and gave him, sort of free reign. It's like, tweak things, make things better. You have a whole page of specials. Make that happen on, every single week. Bring something new to this restaurant that is not just, the standard fare, which is good fare. And, but bring something else special. And so Mick, and I'll probably let him speak a little bit more to this. He reached out.
Gave me a wonderful creative outlet.
Yeah, talk to us about that.
I mean, we were like, reach out to the community, reach out to the locals, reach out to the farms, reach out to, whoever is around. And
autonomy.
And you've got a page. We can't take away the things that people love, but what we can do is give them something else new. And so every week he gets a page to fill it up and put some specials on, and he sources locally and with Sharondale mushrooms, Accent Farms,
Wayside Farms, Accent Farms, Asgard Farms.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, and we're just like, yeah, do it. Do your thing, Mick. And he does. He brings it. So that's been great.
Talk to us about creativity and autonomy and carte blanche as an executive chef.
Creativity. Go with what you know. I mean, I know it's kind of, it might be a little cliche to talk about food that you grew up on and things, the flavors and smells in your mom's and grandma's kitchen.
That's not cliche, that's beautiful.
It is. And you kind of take that, going French food, Spanish food at Moss with my boy Mike Catola.
Watching now.
Is he? Well, love you, Mike.
Love Mike.
French, Spanish, fresh out of culinary school. I ended up down in Charleston at a wonderful, wonderful Italian restaurant called Wild Olive under Chef Jacques Larson. Learned all things Italian, from the bottom up. I was hand cranking pasta for hours on end. Creativity, just, you do have to think of the crowd that you're playing to. And so that makes it a little trickier than just, making grandma's specials and things like that. But, after you do it for a while, it's not as hard to do. Cook, good, clean flavors, fresh flavors, local produce. Just use the best ingredients you can to put out the best food you can to make people happy. And don't take them straight to the bank with it. So it's a balancing act.
And it's an evolution. We're evolving.
It is.
Every single day. We're bringing something new. We're trying something different. If we get multiple critiques on a certain dish, let's work on it. Let's fix it.
Sure.
And not ostracize the customer base that we already had. So
you roll out a dish that I'll roll out a dish that I think is going to just be amazing. Things that I absolutely love. And then that'll be like the one in my heart that I know that's going to sell 70 of every night. And then it doesn't happen. And you feel sad. And your dreams are kind of crushed. But
I like your style.
And your owner says, it's okay, Mick.
But it's going to happen.
For a hug.
It's
hug
going to happen.
Out, and let's work and move forward.
Who doesn't like smoked salmon and cream and goat cheese? Come on. No, that's just one example. The customers will definitely keep you guessing and keep you on your toes sometimes. Because, like I said, something you think that is just going to fly out of the window, nothing happens.
We got a lot of questions and comments coming in. Guys, I will get to those in a matter of moments. Ray and Terry Cadell, thank you kindly for sharing the show. Give it a like and a share on any of the 12 Facebook pages you're watching this program on. If you have any comments, put it in the comment section. I would pass it along to them. He talks about in a nutshell, this level of sophistication of palates in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. The marketplace in Charlottesville, because of the competitive nature of the category, has more sophisticated than your average community.
You have to be on your game every single day and night.
Right. And it's to the advantage of the customer, because we know when we go to a restaurant, we get the best of the best, right? I want to put this topic in perspective for you as a businesswoman. Competitive category, you have to bring it every single night. Mm-hmm. You have a shitload of skin in the game here as a businesswoman, with a number of people counting on you and the vision and mixed sweat equity and creativity to pay their bills. Put that pressure in perspective. Is it real pressure?
Oh.
I see it, yeah.
I don't even have words for it. I think I realized that very early on in December of 2018 when our the manager and chef that we inherited left us, and we had no executive chef and no GM, and it was Christmas time, and we had a shit ton of parties.
The kitchen was torn apart.
The kitchen
with new flooring. And
well, no, that came afterwards. But we had equipment breaking. In our back of the house, who is still with us today. Shout out to
Pablo, Rosa, and
Isidro. Oh my gosh,
they're
amazing.
The best.
The next morning they came in. We came in and we're like, okay, we're on our own for the next 20 days. Will you guys do it? And they're like, we got you. And they have been with us, and they have filled every gap and every just terrifying moment as a business owner that I've experienced. And so they're so dear to my heart. I do consider our entire staff family. There's going to be people that come and go, but the backbone of the organization, we value, and we try and show them every day how much we value them.
And you do. They take really good care of everyone.
That's beautiful. I like your style because you, like me, are an emotional guy. You feel.
I do.
You got a big heart.
There's nothing fake sitting over here.
I literally feel the authenticity and like the vulnerability and like the big heart like sitting next to you. It's contagious, and I literally want to like get in line with you and follow you through fire right now.
Should we hug?
What
We're
about?
hugging. We're hugging.
I'm not
Studio
sure.
cam.
I'm not sure what that makes me.
No, I mean, it takes a visionary leader with you and your husband to pick somebody like this to add to your team.
Yeah.
Can you put, what is like a day-to-day like for a restaurateur in Charlottesville that's new to the game in this market? What goes through your mind?
Every day I learn how to walk.
Love that.
Every day I learn something new. I'm getting great feedback from my staff, telling us what we need, what we should do, and I value that. I mean, I value everybody's opinion, and based on that, we move forward. And again, back to the evolution. I mean, every day we're evolving. Every day we're trying to make it better, do something new. And so that's
new
what
challenge
it is.
every day.
Alicia Jones, studio cam, please, Judah. Alicia Jones says, Elaina needs a hug too. Get up, Jerry.
Look what I started.
That's what
Thanks,
you
Alicia.
Quinn Beckham says, I love these two so freaking much. How long have you been in Charlottesville?
Full-time, about 2 years, a little over 2 years. We bought the house about 5 years ago, and we were just coming in like weekends from Northern Virginia and spending a lot of time here. Most of that was the genesis of the charity that I sit on the board for a charity trek. So the genesis was to come down and do board meetings and planning and things like that, because the charity is established here in Charlottesville with Quinn, who sits on the board with me.
Nice. He loves to bike ride.
Yes, he does. Yes, a lot. And so we've done an amazing job for raising funds for AIDS vaccine research, which we are one of the last organizations that is strictly dedicated to that. So
awesome.
Yeah. So we're Johnny come latelys to Charlottesville, but
I ask this question all the time to folks newish to Charlottesville. Did you feel at home right away, or did you feel like people respond two different ways almost every single time? I felt at home right away. It was so easy. And the other response is Charlottesville is kind of like old school, a little cliquish, and you have to crack down the walls to make the friends. It wasn't easy for me to crack down those walls.
Okay, so about 10 or 15 years ago, I had a friend who went to UVA. She might have been part of secret societies.
Wow.
She's
connected.
She's old world and a lot of connections here in Charlottesville. My husband's ex was also Charlottesville,
Okay.
and so there was more of a connection for him. When I came, I did not feel the welcoming emotions 15, 20 years ago. I did not necessarily think that highly of it. I grew up in Manassas, Virginia, after being a South Jersey girl for a while. But
So big city gal.
yeah, Manassas.
Is Manassas not? Okay, that shows.
Well, at the time, no.
Okay, but now, right?
Now it's
booming,
now
right?
it's much bigger, and I lived on Capitol Hill for about 15 years.
Gotcha.
I've been part of, I like restaurants, so I go. But my first experience with Charlottesville was not wildly welcoming, but then when I started coming here and making more friends, and I remember my husband and I were debating sort of like, when would we move here full time? And I'm like, sweetie, I live here full time. I hope you'll come join me.
Wow, I love that.
And so, we sold our house in Northern Virginia and made this our home. And because I just love it. I love Charlottesville. I really love almost everything about it.
Almost.
People don't park very well.
The parking always.
Or drive very well.
All right, so we have the yin to the yang here, and Mick, who bleeds Charlottesville. And did you say off air 96 or 98?
I moved here in 98. I believe I moved here in 98 on a whim.
Okay, so you moved here in 98. One of the things about the restaurant business, especially tending bar, you get to meet a shitload of people very quickly.
A lot.
Yeah, and when I go to my bartender, often after, like, say, a long day of work, or often with my wife and I, when our kid is screaming bloody murder, and our bartender is often a sounding board or a good listener, or in some cases even a therapist.
Absolutely.
So you get to make human connection with people
Yes.
For a couple of decades in town.
Sure.
Talk to us what Charlottesville means to you.
Oh, it's definitely home now. My family's from, Allegheny County, Augusta County, so not too far away, but, you drop that Afton Mountain in there, and sometimes it does seem like a world away from that part of Virginia. But, I got to bounce around a little bit and see a little bit of this. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I was in the military for several years. Got to see a lot of other neat countries. But Charlottesville is definitely unique in both positive ways and negative ways. It's kind of got that, once you start to know people, it kind of has that small town feel, especially in a restaurant community. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody dates everybody. Everybody.
It's incestual.
It is.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I don't.
Not yet. You've only been here 2 years.
You've only been here 2 to 5 years. Give it 10 or 15. You'll start to see a cycle.
Elaina, I like your laugh.
You'll start to see a cycle. I'm not going to say anything bad about Charlottesville. You can say something bad about, I don't care where you live. You can say something bad about,
of course,
anything no
anywhere
matter where you live.
Yeah.
We all know what the problems are. But as far as a good, safe place to live with lots of good options for food, culture, art, music, sports with the Wahoos blowing it up in the last couple of years.
Good for business.
Wahoo.
Oh man, yeah. But love it here. I don't think I'm going to move again.
Let's get to comments that are coming in for both you guys. Both your pages are blowing up. And then we're going to pass along some questions here. So we're going to have comments from Laura Fonner says, hey friends, Mick fist bump. You're getting a lot of props from the Awful Arthur days. Interestingly, I got headbutted in the Awful Arthur's parking lot circa 2001. Probably my fault. That was when Awful Arthur's was a little...
I was working there in 2001.
That was when Awful Arthur's in Midtown was a little sketch.
Scruffy. It was a little
scruffy.
sketch.
Is that safe?
I think that's a very, very fair assessment of Midtown Charlottesville.
I was doing some things I shouldn't have been doing my younger days, but I was like, I used to get after it at Awful Arthur's.
We all did.
I know
we all did.
We all did. Billy Scafidi says, Mick. We're getting he wants to talk about the Astros, but we're going to put that aside for now. Drew, he wants the cheating scandal. I figured that would piss you off, so we're not going to go down that road.
Keeping it positive.
Drew McGarity, giving you some props. Tamara Rogers, it's great seeing you, Mick. Giovanni Canada, looking good over there, buddy.
Hold it down over in Stanton, Gio is.
Wayne Hensley, Laura Harris, best chef in town. Chris Dutcher, Jerry Miller, I am so impressed with Mick Markley. He has big things happening. He is a great friend. Doug Simpson calls you Big Juicy. James Watson, great friend of this program right here, says
James is great.
Lots of priceless nights making drinks and hanging with Mick at Orbit back in the day. Love you, brother. Elaina, you're getting some big-time props on your program, on your page from Gwen Snyder-Wells. I'm at work, I can't listen, but I will on my break, I 100% promise. Malena Levin, yay for charity treks. Luann Stevenson, awesome people. Any comments you'd like to put in the feed, pass it along. 2001, I had my 21st birthday at Awful Arthur's. Drew McGarity said, I wonder if that's the night I got headbutted. All right, let me throw this to you here, Elaina. What can we expect? I love the energy on the set right now with you guys. What do you want to see from your fabulous restaurant, say, because you're a goal-oriented person. Mm-hmm. It's the consultant in you. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see from the brand and the restaurant and the model, say, the next 12 to 24 months?
I really want to just foster Mick. And his vision. He's I love everything he puts in front of me, and the rest of the back of the house are amazing. I mean, we bought them a tortilla maker, so whenever we're in the house and during the day, they'll send out lunch for us, and they make their own tortillas, and they make
Italian restaurant with the best Mexican food in town.
I know. Awesome. My husband keeps saying we should open a Mexican restaurant with our stuff. I'm like, but no, I'd love to expand more of Mick's vision. Right now I think people are still regarding us more of a family style and comfort food,
and that's fine.
I feel that's
great.
Which is great. And when he came on, I said, we can't take this away from them because there's not anything else similar to it in Charlottesville. There's fancier Italian. I'm going to give props out. I love Tavola.
I love Tavola. I love
Tavola is what
these
Michael
guys
Dylan
killing it.
has come on the show. The guy is talented.
Dilly is awesome.
Yeah. I just, Tavola is one of my favorite places in Charlottesville. We go out a lot. We support all of the Midtown groups, restaurants. But I want us to have something special. I don't want us to be sort of a last resort for people. I want people to seek us out and just really want to be there for what Mick's putting to us.
We change up. We do single serving portions now. You don't have to come in and get a 6-pound plate of lasagna now. We're doing single servings. I try and do a nice spread of some lighter new Italian dishes. I mean, I love the old school Roman dishes. I love rigatoni al forno. Love it. Obviously. Wasn't trying to break the wheel because the wheel was rolling fine. I just trying to tweak it a little bit, trying to make it a little smoother, give people some more options, give it a little local flair, some local flavor, and just speed it up a little bit.
I love that Mick. Every season, Mick asks me, "What are you looking for this season?" And I have very specific things like the ribollita or the summeros. Like I need the tomato crouton salad on the menu. Like
the panzanella.
Panzanella. Yeah. I was like, I need that in my body on a weekly basis.
It's Wayside and Asgard Farm tomatoes. With man,
so good.
Yeah, I'm ready for spring again. Love the chilly weather, love it, but I love that spring and summer produce that we get from all our wonderful people.
What was going through your mind when you got the gig? Mick, you're going to lead a kitchen. You're going to be an executive chef with restaurateurs who are not super seasoned. You're going to have autonomy and carte blanche. We're not going to micromanage you. Do what you want. Make people happy. Keep the lights and the doors open.
I was 101% happy and motivated. I couldn't wait to get started. The timing was great. The restaurant, the building, the kitchen, it's all great. It's just like something kind of lined up, and I was just at the right place at the right time.
And a year later, you still feel that way?
Absolutely.
I feel like he's more like fresh and charged than ever.
Yeah.
You seem ready to like kick some ass and take some names for real.
Okay, it's a job. Not every single day, you wake up and some days you're just kind of like...
Of course, it's a job. If it wasn't that, it would be called fun and not a job. But you still love it.
I hit the door and I'm ready to roll. And, they give me every tool. They give me every resource. Literally, they give me every piece of equipment, everything I need. I'm like, geez, this such and such is broken. Boom, they got a new one. I hint that I need something, boom, it's there 2 days later. So, and I've been in places where it's the exact opposite, where you had to like scream and kick and drag them to the computer, to Amazon, whatever the hell it is you need that day. Opposite here. I just hint that I need something. They give me, I'll say it again, they give me every tool and every resource I need to make and run a successful kitchen.
I don't know if you guys can hear outside our studio. Shit is hitting the fan. I think half the Charlottesville Police Department just drove by our studio on Market Street. Talk to us about what's Mick saying there, about the restaurant, about he's charged, about the support he's getting from you.
We want to do things right. I mean, we emphasize cleanliness in the restaurant. We emphasize equipment that works. We don't want... There's times where something might break and we just can't get it in there soon enough. to our satisfaction, but that's the way things happen,
Sure.
But if we're not giving him the tools to succeed, then we're not going to succeed, and that's all. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, I like that. How about this question for you, Elaina? You, a businesswoman, a consultant, now a restaurateur and an entrepreneur. How do you, and we've touched on this a little bit, how do you characterize, Charlottesville's 10.27 square miles. Charlottesville City, the city, 50,000 people. Central Virginia in totality with the outer counties, say 300,000 people. I read an interesting statistic, depending on who you hear this from. Charlottesville either has the third most restaurants per capita in the country, behind San Francisco or New York City, or the ninth most restaurants per capita. Ninth. So wherever it is, it's in the top 10. How do you characterize the category in totality? Restaurants.
How do I characterize what?
How do you see it? How's like as a businesswoman look at restaurants in Charlottesville, just the whole category?
I absolutely love that so much of the restaurants in Charlottesville are small brands, locally owned, operated,
non-corporate.
Non-corporate, and there's some corporate even in some of the things that, but 29 serves its purpose. But downtown, the midtown and the corner, like. I think everybody's kind of rooting for everybody. I mean, I was there that night at Grocery Games rooting for Laura,
Yeah.
Like everybody roots for everybody here. And I think, people help each other.
Yeah, we're all
working for the same goal,
thing, yeah.
and we all live here. And if we continue, if we just continue that, then I think all of us get a chance to be successful.
What do you think, Mick?
Keep it positive. Help your neighbors out. I mean, like we just talked about, we're kind of all in this together. I mean, it's good look at Short Pump. I mean, Short Pump's fine, but I mean, it's overrun with
Fredericksburg.
Corporate restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that helps somebody way up the food chain.
Yeah, it helps the landlords.
Yeah, the landlords and the brand owners. But a lot of small restaurants. And a lot of people, that margin, that profit margin, what we've touched on earlier, having to be on your game every night. If you have a couple bad nights, you don't get 3 strikes and you're out anymore. Somebody comes in and has a bad time at your place and you don't make it right on the spot, guess what? They have, how many? 200 other options within 3 miles of here to go take themselves and their families or their dates, their wives, whatever. So you just got to be on it and, helping each other out in one way or another, whether it's, loaning them some, I don't know, a couple cans of tomato, whatever it might be.
Sternos.
Whatever they need. Sternos, whatever we might need, Maya, Peter.
Your boy Andrew Vaughn watching right now.
Yeah, well.
Andrew Vaughn, we were hyping the Orbit days, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was some wild times. It really was. God, UVA, they just keep coming. They will never stop, and that's a good thing.
We had this comic come on the show, say this past Friday, and it was with Matt Daring. He works for the University of Virginia. He's an accountant. We were talking kind of trends in Charlottesville. What?
Was he a funny guy?
He was actually a funny guy. My dad's kind of funny. We'll leave that one at that. I love you, Dad. He watches the show. All right, so this is what Matt said. He was at a cocktail party for UVA Medical, and Matt was on kind of like one of the wallflowers as all the doctors kind of congregated and were talking shop. And another one of the wallflowers at the cocktail party was Adam Frazier, the owner of Junction and The Local. And Matt said to Adam Frazier, Adam said to Matt, "What do you do?" And Matt said, "I work for UVA." And Adam's response to Matt was, "We all, in some ways, work for UVA in Charlottesville, Virginia." Throw the impact of the University of Virginia when it's in session, sporting events are going on, major events are going on, and when UVA is not in session. The influx of business, what do you see?
Well, my most recent favorite thing is that the football team has come in right before their bowl games 2 years in a row.
Nice.
And we throw together
The whole team?
It was part of the team.
Okay.
In pieces, yeah.
Pardon?
In pieces.
In pieces.
Yes.
But that's special to me. I love. We had such a great time last year that they came back this year right before the Orange Bowl, which was awesome, and we were all rooting for them. After the basketball team won, we had coach come in. We had different aspects of the basketball team come in. So not to just focus on the men's teams, but there was a big track meet held in Charlottesville about a month or so ago, and every restaurant was overwhelmed with the cross-country track teams. It was like this big tournament, and we got our fair share of that too. So having school in session is amazing, and we love the students, and we love it when their families come in. Back to school is awesome for us because the families like
graduation.
Graduation is amazing, but coming, like orientation week, move-in weekend, coming back from the holidays.
How about the summer months? I'm so curious. I'm curious as a businessman myself, and you're an accountant, son of a CPA, you're CPA. The importance of managing cash flow for slower times. Like for an advertising agency, which we are, Q1, especially the first half of Q1, are slow time because the businesses that we service got after it hard in Q4 to meet their nut. Mm-hmm. And then Q1, they're either celebrating and coasting or licking their wounds and don't have the outlay because they're licking their wounds. So first half of Q1 is tough for us.
Yeah.
Throw that topic to you.
Summers are a little tough. We try and do a lot of outreach events during that time. We participate in Restaurant Week, which serves the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. We did an AHIP fundraiser last summer. We did a Charity Tracks fundraiser. So what we try and do is focus on some of those things. We also rent the restaurant out. I mean, people, it's a great, I'm hoping you've been in my restaurant.
I have. What I love about your restaurant is the following, is the sense of intimacy. I love the energy that's palpable. I like that the tables are close because you feel the buzz in the air. When you go in on a poppin' Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, it's like the spot to be.
Yeah, and it's tight. I mean, we don't have a waiting area.
It's not a huge square feet.
We don't have a vegetable where people can hang out, but we'll serve full serve at the bar. But during the summer months, we love to host, rehearsal dinners, or we don't have a catering license, but we'll deliver food to you.
Hey, come sit at the bar while you wait on your table.
Yeah, but
we're doing happy hour 4 to 6.
We'll open for lunch if you want to do a luncheon.
Absolutely.
We're pretty flexible, so that's the other nice part about being single owner operator.
Because you can pivot whenever you need to.
Yeah, I mean, we had people. We're not open for lunch Monday through Thursday, but during the holiday season, if you want to have a luncheon or an awards dinner or awards luncheon, we'll open the restaurant for you. Just bring a decent group of people, and it doesn't have to be that many, 15, 20 people. Have your own restaurant to yourselves. And
all yours.
All yours.
Karen Rakosi? Rakosi, giving you some props. Yay for you, Elaina. Your page blowing up. We have food, Judah, which we will get to in a matter of moments. I can't wait to try the food here. Before we do, this is an interesting topic that is continuing to come up. Mick, will you tell some stories from West Main and Midtown and how it's changed? We've had 3 or 4 different people ask about how you've seen Midtown and West Main change in your 20-plus years. Give us firsthand, like tangible firsthand stories.
It's a different world. I mean, 97, 98, 99, it was a little rough. 10 o'clock, you're walking people to their cars.
A lady wasn't walking alone by herself on West Main.
No, not then, no. You were not. All these new apartments and condos, everything going up and down West Main, between the hospital and Ridge Street. It's just, I can't believe,
I'd like to give a shout out to the ambassadors that are on the
sure.
streets, during that time in the evenings for our staff that leave late. I mean, that's been super helpful. So I don't know if they get enough credit. So thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Nice.
Absolutely. You think about how many. Okay, you were here back then. How many restaurants were there between Ridge Street and the hospital?
And correct me if I'm wrong here. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong that are watching. I think we need to give props to Peter Castiglione and Christian Kelly at Maya.
Yes.
And the guys at Continental Divide.
Absolutely.
Because Maya and
Duffy
Continental
and
Divide, did they, in a lot of ways, they, along with Gabe Silverman and Alan Kajin, the developers that helped build Midtown. But from a restaurant standpoint, Maya and Continental Divide started making it cool to go to Midtown.
Absolutely.
And pull from downtown or the corner. Throw that to you.
I've always loved Divide. Always, never had a bad bite of food there. At one point, they had the tequila T-shirts, where if you drank all 70 tequilas, you got the T-shirt.
Bring it back.
Mine got stolen. But yeah, that was work, putting in work, drinking all those tequilas. Divide, fantastic. Maya's always held it down.
Amateur.
Love Blue Moon's back and booming.
Laura.
So excited about that because it was closed by the time we moved here, and I was so excited.
Get some. They're great. I know I'm forgetting a few places, but Midtown's coming up, man. It's wild.
It's the cool place to be.
I mean,
it's where the cool kids hanging.
You know what? And you're 100% right. Like downtown. Okay, so for me, 2000, when I arrived at UVA, I was going to the bars on the corner with a napkin and a fake ID and getting in and drinking. Okay, literally. Okay.
That's all you needed.
Yeah, I was drinking like $2 Natural Lights and ripping Jim Beam or something like that. Okay, and then as I get a little bit older, I start going downtown. Okay, what I've seen happen is like downtown still has like the panache because of the venues, but Midtown is competing, if not, and I hate to say this because I own a lot of this building. It could hurt this. All right, Midtown is pulling away from downtown from a coolness standpoint. It's because of the restaurants.
Yay.
I mean, it's because of what you guys are doing. I mean, I'm so pumped for you. I think the future is like so effing bright. Here's a crazy question. Any interest in doing another restaurant? Does that conversation come up?
It has. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a year into this, and we're a year into this, and it's still evolving, and I'm still getting my footing. I know we get a lot of folks from out in the county, and they're like, you should come to Crozet.
Yeah, Crozet or like Forest Lakes Holly Mead.
So if anybody's out there and that's going to jump the gun on me, okay, there you go. Maybe check, pull me in as a partner or something. We won't rule it out. What?
We won't rule it out.
We're not going to rule it out. We're just,
I think your concept would scale well.
Yeah, I mean, I know the previous owner tried that.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to jump into a market like Richmond.
Sure.
But
you did it the wrong way. I'm just leaving it at that.
but I if it were to be something like Crozet or Zion Crossroads, which is building like crazy, I don't know enough about some of those areas to see what because we actually get a lot of people in from those places. So maybe if we had a place out there, but there's only one Mick.
I can drive.
You can try. Judah, why don't you do this? Put it on Studio Cam, my friend. Judah Wickhauer is our director, and see if you can start sliding some of that food over here so we can eat it. Welcome Josh Hunt, the restaurateur from Beer Run in Cardinal Hall.
Hey, Josh,
he's watching right now.
Tell Chrissy I said hey.
Lee McChenzie, Mick, you're awesome, man. I always remember kicking it at Mardi Gras with you.
Oh my God.
As the food is coming on set, and we're going to devour some Mangiones here on the I Love CVille show. This restaurant is awesome. I want you to get into this restaurant this month and support these people who are making Charlottesville a better place here. What do you want to see from yourself? Some personal goals here as a chef.
I just want to see the business grow, expand our clientele. We're talking about just little tweaks here and there, new tabletops, just a couple things. just the little touches that you can add that people may not always immediately recognize, but they appreciate it. I mean, just all those little things that you can do, olive service. We just started out with that. That's still a little hit or miss, but I mean, I love olives. I like free olives. I like free food. God, come get it. We got some great ideas. We're trying to push some happy hour. Please come in. Danielle and Maggie have put together some great classic Italian cocktails with some new Italian twists on them. They're great.
And we're putting out little mini dishes for happy hour, so you can come in and have a little
bites. You don't have to get a big plate of food.
Yeah.
Come in and have a cocktail or a beer or some. Our wine list is. We've been working on that thing hard.
Okay, that's my favorite part about restauranting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll turn it over to her.
Having the wine?
Yeah.
well, my favorite day is wine vendor day.
Why, you get a taste?
Yeah. Well, not just one. They bring in a bag, and
Nice.
and I have.
And you're working.
And I'm working. Yeah. And I have to be reminded occasionally that it's not just wines I drink. So I think.
Do you like reds?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Me too.
I like wine.
You like a bold red?
I do like a bold red.
Yeah.
I've been learning a lot about Italian wine, which has been fun. Most recently, one of our primary vendors brought in a rep from one of the families, and it turned out to be a guy I graduated high school with. So we were like, woo!
You guys had a party.
Hey, Glenn Fisher. And so...
I think Glenn's my Facebook friend now, I think.
Glenn is,
Maybe.
yeah. But I like wine. I love to taste it. I love to feel the differences, and see the differences. I will say one of my favorite things is Oregon Pinots and French Burgundies. However, we don't really have those on the menu at the restaurant. But I've learned a lot about Italian wines, and I have some favorites now.
I love Alicia Edwards. We love Mangione's on Main. Elaina Mangione, you make the experience special.
Aw.
I get the impression, and I don't want to assume that's why I'm asking, you just love the energy that goes from table to table of meeting your customers.
I do.
Like, 'cause you're a people person.
I've never been accused of that
Really?
before.
You have a contagious energy and a great laugh.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean that.
No, in this venue, I do love that. I do love going to tables and talking to people, and Mick has been amazing too, because I love a chef that will just come out.
Me too.
And he table touches.
Man, it's hot back there.
Yeah, we have all the air conditioning out front, so he's got to get out of the kitchen. But he loves table touching too, and I think it's important. I mean, between me and Maggie, the manager, and Mick, the chef, touching tables and meeting the customers. I mean, we're small enough that we get to do that.
I love seeing my friends in there. It's seeing people. I just like seeing people happy. If and when you get compliments, it's wonderful. But constructive criticism helps me more than a compliment any day of the week.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's invaluable.
If somebody doesn't like something, if something's not quite the way they want it, don't sit on it. Pay your tab and
Or
go home grumpy.
Worse,
and then
don't post
and
it
then
on Yelp and
gripe on
social
it about
media.
Give us
Tell
a
the
chance
chef.
to make you
Yes.
happy.
Thank you.
If
we
the
can fix it there.
if
We
the-
can't fix it once you're gone.
If the lemon sauce is too lemony,
Say this into the mic. I thank you
if
for
the
saying
lemon
this.
sauce is too lemony, please tell me.
Any restaurant owner or chef that is watching right now, and we have so many, will appreciate this.
We will bend
Customers,
over backwards to
tell
give you what you
the
want.
management, the owners, and the chefs if you're not happy.
Don't leave pissy.
Don't go to social media. Okay? You are hurting your community. That is not the way to do it.
Right.
Let us do our job. Let us make you happy.
Yeah.
Because we'll do anything we can.
I never understood that.
Passive aggressive.
It's passive aggressive. It's one of the
fear of
fatal flaws
confrontation.
of these.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm not okay. If I get a gripe about something legitimate, I'm not going to have any qualms about talking to you and trying to make it right with you.
Right.
Now, sometimes, you catch that strange one that's like, what the are you talking about?
You can say fuck.
I can't.
I think-
My kids might watch.
Okay. Oh, then I apologize. I've been saying this all hour. I'm sorry.
They're fucking grown. It's okay.
Markley kids, I'm sorry.
My favorite recent bad review was, the service was great, Maggie was awesome, the server was awesome, the food was amazing. 2 stars. The restaurant's a little small.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What can you do about that?
Restaurant needs to be bigger.
So sorry.
Let me Doctor Strange an extra dimensional room for you guys so the restaurant's bigger.
Oh.
What the fuck can we do about that?
I love this.
I'm sorry.
See, now that you got him to say the first one, he's not going to be able to stop.
Lori McDowell, you know he's successful when you have to pay him to cook for your family.
Whoa.
What?
Did that ever happen?
Did you ask your family to pay you?
Yeah. We did do an event. I think the ladies chipped in.
I love it. All right, let's eat. What do we got here? You want to set the stage?
Sure. And Mick will tell us more, but the initial things we brought our lasagna, the pasta al forno. It's one of our top sellers. It's lasagna, but it's amazing.
It's really good.
And there's some extra sauce in that white tin over there.
We'll go one shot, J-Dubs, and we'll get this on screen here. I would, and I'm going to catch some flack for this. I'm going to straight up say this. I think it might be the best lasagna in Charlottesville, Virginia. I swear.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that
Jerry.
because it's in my hands. I really do. I loved it at Bella's. I loved it at Mangione's. I think it is absolutely amazing.
We've changed very little since Bella's. I think
because this was one of their best sellers, right?
I bumped some of the cheese.
There's someone trying to get into the studio.
I know. We've
tweaked.
Maybe somebody I know.
We tweaked the red sauce. I mean, we used the red sauce in 2/3 of our dishes. They were solid recipes. We just tweaked them a little bit. Put some fresh herbs, I think.
Okay. Tell me about the breakdown, the ingredients here. Can I ask that? Or
yeah, absolutely. It's no secret. It's a veal pork, mozzarella Asiago, pecorino. I'd love to say we make our lasagna sheets, but we don't. If I made fresh pasta for everything we do, I would have 2 guys working 60 hours a week.
There's a knife in there too.
Full time, trying to keep up with the fresh pasta.
Just kidding.
I love fresh pasta as much as anybody else.
Me too.
And it definitely has its place. And I will go out of my way to get some fresh pasta. What we're doing, I couldn't keep up, even if I tried. Yeah, I'll make some fresh ravioli sometimes.
So by far the best-selling dish?
Ooh, what do we sell the most of? Chicken franchise, rigatoni al forno?
Rigatoni al forno.
Rigatoni al forno. And I suggested that one when we were coming in.
No, you didn't.
Didn't I say rigatoni al forno?
No, I suggested it.
Banging, dude.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
better when it's really hot.
God,
It's better when it's really hot. We switched to some new to-go containers that dude, that's been in there for 45 minutes.
Top, so I can eat. I'm doing this to kill time so I can eat your food here. Top 5 best-selling dishes.
Rigatoni al forno, chicken franchise.
The pasta al forno, which you're eating.
The lasagna.
Chicken piccata. I think our chicken piccata is really awesome.
It's so weird because at the end of every night, me and the guys on the line would comment, "Wow, we did not sell a single one of these tonight." And it's random. You never know. Some nights it's all Alfredo. Some nights it's all Alfredo. Other nights, Marsala, we have a couple seafood dishes on the
risotto pescatora.
Risotto pescatora and the seafood puttanesca, which is an amazing dish. You never know.
Yeah. Some days it's all night long.
There's no predicting it. So basically, you just have to be ready for everything. Just have everything ready to go. I think since I'm just a few days short of being there a year.
Nice, dude.
I don't think we've had 286, which for those of you guys don't know what that means. When you run out of something, you 86 it. Hey, 86, blah, 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 because we're out of it or something's gone wrong.
We did that on lasagna one time.
One time.
I think it was one time. I'm like, if this ever happens again.
I can literally think of
I can throw some mean.
3.
Yeah, I can throw some mean.
You can be mean?
I can be mean.
I would not have guessed that.
Thank you.
You're saying
she's always nice to me. I can think of maybe 3 times we've run out of a menu item since in the year that I've been there, and it was.
We'll run out of specials, but it's
that's why they're
that's
specials,
the nature of the beast on
You
specials.
almost want to run out of specials.
Yeah, because I'll make 20 portions of something, and guess what? If it doesn't sell. Yeah, because you don't know. It's you're almost like testing. It's a way of testing what your customers want to eat, what they want to see.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've got a dish on there right now. It's a smoked salmon pasta with chev, fresh dill. I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Capers.
Okay, don't fill up on that.
Yeah.
Jerry,
Come eat
because
it.
And Judith's probably like, save some for me.
Come
you
eat
MF.
the salmon.
So this one is one of Mick's new specials right now that we're running. It's Mick.
It's
take it away.
duck confit escarole.
This is duck?
Yes, that's
That
duck
was a
confit.
fancy. Put that in layman's terms for a dumb guy.
Quack, quack.
Elaina.
Confit is pretty much anything that's cooked in specifically its own fat or fat.
Okay.
Duck confit being cooked in duck fat at 200 degrees for as long as it takes, 6 to 10, 12, 18. It just depends on what you're shooting for.
Okay.
So it makes a really nice, flavorful, tender duck, and I pulled the skin off that confit duck and crisped that up in the oven.
How long
give you a little
do
crunchies.
these take to prepare?
The duck,
because that's banging, and I know this is
the
gonna be
duck. Well, you cure it first, let it sit overnight with salt and herbs.
Oh.
Give it a quick rinse, and then you submerge it in its fat and let it roll. I let it roll overnight. That one's about 12 hours. It's got ricotta cheese, cream, escarole. What else did I throw in there? Oh yeah, brandied cherries. We got some really nice Italian brandied cherries, some Amarena cherries.
What's
that are in
prep
there.
work look like, Mick, for like prep work versus actual execution of the dish?
For that dish specifically?
Or just like day to day?
We are a prep heavy restaurant, man, because we do not have a lot of storage,
A lot of space.
a lot of cold storage. So we generally don't make, like for red sauce. We make red sauce, bolognese, Alfredo every other day.
Wow.
Every other day. If we catch a couple slow nights, sometimes those things will slide to 3 maybe. The time I've been there, I've never seen a red sauce sit there for more than 48 hours.
That's amazing.
We roll through it. It's fresh, and I think it's great. It's a little more intense on the labor side, a little more intensive. Glad you like that one. It's a lot better really hot when the cream's still kind of loose. That
Actually,
one
really, really
it looked
warm.
like it tightened up. Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. It looked like it would tighten up a little bit. It's a little creamier.
You're a perfectionist,
fresh off the
aren't
shot. I try to be.
He's got some
As much as
OCD
I can.
tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I try.
What's the saying? Perfectionist is next to godliness.
There's that one, but there's one that is
Next to
a quote.
craziness.
It's a quote of Jacques Pepin. It was hanging over the stadium kitchen at French Culinary Institute, and if I remember correctly, how'd it go? In seeking perfection, you achieve excellence.
Wow.
And I think about that one a lot. You just
I love Jacques Pepin.
Yeah, dude, I love you guys. What happens? Let me throw this to you. Not that this happens often at all. What happens if something goes out not to the mixed standards? How are you feeling?
It won't go to the table. I'll catch it at the one. In the rare chance that it will make it to the table, I will. If somebody say, "Hey, it's gone off their table," and we'll get the fresh, the one that's right to the table immediately, as quickly as possible. I'm not gonna send somebody a dish and have them pay for a dish that I don't want to sit down and eat. That's BS.
And on really super busy nights, we'll have Mick on Expo just to make sure that, I mean,
It's like that last little line of defense.
It is just the last line of defense, but Pablo is amazing. I mean,
your
if he's got 5 orders, he's like,
They are.
If he's got 25
my cooks
orders,
are
he is like,
machines.
he's got a smile on his face. He's
Cedro
got
back there
25
on
pans
garde
going.
manger and desserts. I mean, I can't.
And
keep,
it's a tight kitchen.
I
I spent
can't
many
keep
times in that
up
kitchen.
with that guy.
Yeah.
I can't, like on a busy night, I'll jump over and help out on that side some, and I'm just like, I'll just get out of your way. It's the guy.
Get on the other side of the expo line.
Those guys roll. They move it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have the crew that I have.
I want to say this, and I'll tell you what, we've spent 70 minutes here.
Oh my
You guys have
goodness.
crushed it. This food is freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. All the people that are watching the show, get to Mangione's on Main ASAP. Support the people that are making the community a better place for all of us. I'm not going to forget this dish here.
That
we
we
can
make
say that for later if you want. I mean,
What do we got
that's
here?
the tiramisu.
that we make the
House-
tiramisu in house.
Tiramisu. I've had the tiramisu. It's good.
Sorry, the dishes.
That's all right. I like to scrape it off here. I'm going to eat it together. This tiramisu is going to be in my belly today. My wife is watching right now and literally texting me. She goes,
It is an adult. It's
Don't
an adult
touch
dessert.
it, Jerry.
yeah,
Bring
literally
it home.
what you just said. You're bringing that to me. How did you know? It's like you're married too. All right, you get this, honey. J-Dubs, you're going to get hooked up with the duck, my friend. I'm going to devour this pasta al forno right here. You guys, this has been fun.
It's been super fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Well, you
But-
crushed it.
The whiskey?
Well,
Yeah.
Okay. For those that want to know something behind the scenes here, I'd say 35% of our guests, me and the guests, we rip a shot of some brown spirits. And we did one today. And it was absolutely delicious. It was delicious.
It was.
It
lovely.
set the tone.
Thank you.
It set the tone. Set the tone. High five.
Thank you.
Mangione's on Main. Support the people that make the community better. They are community stewards and the textbook social entrepreneurs that are committed to running a business in the black, but doing it in a way where they give back to the community and leave their footprint in a better place than when they first arrived. That's what we try to do here at I Love CVille as well. For those that are watching the program and asking where we can watch the show in totality, we will archive it in its full form on ilovecville.com. We'll take the audio from today's show and upload it to iTunes by close of business today so you can listen to it as a podcast. And for 30 days, we will syndicate today's show across the I Love CVille network, which is 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts, an e-newsletter that goes out to 120,000 plus inboxes every morning at 11 a.m. We have the third largest Instagram in the community, and of course on ilovecville.com. I close the show with the same message every day. I do not make this about religion. I do make this about the golden rule and treat other people in your life how you want to be treated yourself. Simple concept. I think Charlottesville, Virginia, and certainly the country and the world need the golden rule more than ever. My name is Jerry Miller. This is the I Love CVille Show. I'm going to eat and give these guys hugs. They're awesome. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
You were great. Seriously, you were great.
Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Oh, you were good, dude. Yeah, same. I enjoyed it as well.
We're going out drinking.